If you've never used a journal before, it's important to create a pleasant first experience. Even if you have occasionally used a journal or a notebook in previous times, I invite you to revisit this module and the following tips because you might find a different level of enjoyment in your practice. So let's see what it is that you need when it comes to starting your first journal and creating your first experience with journaling. Step number 1 is choosing your writing tools. I personally am a big fan of stationery shops, and there is no wonder that there are so many out there because they're all very cute and they're all giving you that purpose and that enjoyment of writing. So let's see what it is that you want to look for when you are choosing your first journal. Okay, so when it comes to the size of the first journal that you're going to choose, make sure that you understand what you're choosing from. Do you want a regular A5 journal, or maybe you want a pocket size? I recommend that you don't start straight away with something very big, but if it's something that you have around the house, then please go ahead and do so. My first journal was a green leathered cover notebook in an A5 format, but I also started very soon after to use a bigger notebook for writing down short stories and poems and different creative ideas. So don't limit yourself. Whatever you find, whatever catches your eye in a stationery shop, just go ahead and get it. It's really going to make a difference if you enjoy writing in it or not. It is said to not judge a book by its cover, but after all, your journal needs to represent you. So whether you want to go for a leather cover like this, or maybe you want something more colorful like this, just choose whatever feels right for you. And make sure that at the end of the day, it's something that you carry with pride in case you leave it on your desk or in case you just have it around, and even if you just see it on your nightstand, you want it to be like something that you want to go towards it, grab it and read it and write in it. This is just for you to catch your attention, not anyone else's. When it comes to the binding, again, you can choose between stitched binding or the spirals for the notebook. I personally prefer the stitched binding because whenever I use this kind of notebook, if I put it in my bag, then it gets entangled in my keys and it kind of gets a little bit uncomfortable when I carry it around, especially if it's a planner or my daily schedule that I keep in this journal. So I want you to find something that feels comfortable for you. Choose the binding that really represents you. If you are shopping online, of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to understand what is the quality of the paper. Yes, you might read about it and you will see it in the specifics of the product, but if you go to a stationery shop and you actually get to experience the notebook and really touch it, then you can also feel the paper. You want to have a quality paper. You want to make sure that the writing doesn't show in between the papers and from one page to the next. You want to maybe use recycled paper, or nowadays we have paper made of different materials. So make sure you do your research, especially if you are an eco-friendly person and you want to make sure that it's something that will not harm the environment. It's a lot of options out there, so just go ahead and choose whatever works for you. When it comes to the layout, once again, choose whatever works for you. Do you want blank pages? Do you prefer different sections, maybe drawings? Do you prefer questions or dotted lines? Whatever works for you, go ahead and make it your own. As I said, it's important that it feels right for you. It's important that it feels like it's your own personal friend and that it represents who you really are. It's equally important to choose the writing instrument that you're going to use. So when you are shopping for your first notebook, make sure that you also have a look around at different writing tools. So maybe you are happy with just writing with a pencil because it's quick. Maybe you can also use the eraser and you just feel very comfortable and it just feels right for you. Or maybe you want to use a pen, maybe a fancy pen, or maybe just a regular pen. Maybe you want to have a colorful pen, a colored one that writes in different colors. It's totally up to you. Or you can go for the more fancy version of a fountain pen and make sure you also get some ink for it, because it's going to look very nice, but you do need to have the right supplies for it. So get the perspective and shop around until you find your perfect writing tool, because this is what's going to make a difference between a really pleasant first experience with journaling. Okay, it's time to set the environment. You have found your perfect notebook, you have found the perfect pen, and you are now ready for your first journaling session. Let's see how your environment should look like in order to have a really nice experience. Of course, you don't need to go out of your way every single time when you write in your journal, but it does pay to really have a safe space, some quiet corner, or some place where you feel comfortable, because it's going to enhance that experience. Number 1, find a quiet space. Whether it's somewhere by the window to get some natural light, maybe on a terrace or on your balcony, maybe it's in your bedroom, or if you have a crazy household and there is a lot of noise, you can even go in a corner or lock yourself in the bathroom. Just find that quiet space where you feel you can have a few moments with yourself, where you feel relaxed and where you can really connect with yourself so that you can write in your journal. Try to also remove all the other distractions. Turn off your TV or your laptop, maybe put your phone on airplane mode, and make sure that you are getting into a really great state of mind without a lot of noise in the background. However, if it's too quiet, then you can look at step number 2, creating a beautiful sound environment. So perhaps you want to relax with some music, so you can choose maybe a meditation track on your phone, or you can play some jazz or some piano music, anything that relaxes you and brings you into a state of connection and groundedness. This will really enhance that writing flow, and you will feel safe to share with your journal whatever is bothering you. Okay, so we took care of one of our senses, hearing. Now for step number 3, it's important that we create a beautiful experience also with our taste. Yes, you can bring in your favorite cup of tea or hot chocolate or some coffee if you're doing your journaling practice in the morning. So whatever works for you, and ideally a hot beverage, is going to give you an extra layer of relaxation and calm. So if it makes you happy, bring it in your environment. Number 4, when it comes to your touch, of course you are going to enhance it with your notebook and your pen, but at the same time you can bring some extra accessories, maybe some crystals or something that you want to hold on to that really makes you feel grounded and that gives you a sense of feeling present. So if that helps, then why not bring it in? Okay, for the next step, we are focusing on our smell. It's important that our environment has a very pleasant and relaxing smell to take us into a different dimension when we start writing. So maybe you want to have some scented candles or maybe some scented sticks. Even some essential oils will do for creating that beautiful environment. Whatever you have at hand, whatever makes you feel relaxed, just use it for enhancing the sense of smell. And this is it. You are now ready to start writing. Let's revisit what you need in order to create a pleasant first experience with journaling. You want to get your first journal and choose your first notebook with care. You also want to choose the best writing tool for you. You want to set a pleasant environment. And when it comes to the environment, we're looking at finding a quiet place, maybe bringing in some relaxing sounds and music, perhaps bringing some hot chocolate or tea for bringing out the best of our tasting buds. We also might want to look at enhancing our sense of touch, our smell, and really feeling connected with who we are, and in that present moment to really feel safe to start writing in our journal. Are you ready?